Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can implement this Laravel PayPal payment package within your Laravel applications. So let's get started. The first thing, let's create new Laravel application. Laravel new, let's call our application a store, for example. Okay, let's give it some time. It may take some minutes to get built. Okay, here we go. Let's set it to the application now. Let's open the application with our text editor. Great. So now let's go back and see the installation guide. First, let's require the package within our composer file. Let's do that now. Composer, and added our package here. So now let's update our dependencies. This action may take some minutes. I think I already have this installed, so maybe composer will use the cache, so it's not going to take so much time. Okay, so great. It's installing now. Okay, now the package is installed. Let's go back to the guide. Let's add the service provider to our app config file. App config file here. Scroll down to the bottom. Let's follow the convention here. Okay. Let's do the same thing for the alias. Okay, I think something is missing from the guide. It is about publishing the configuration file. So I may add that when I'm done with this video. So let's do that now. PHP artisan vendor publish. Right, so our configuration file is published now. So we can find it under config folder and the paper payment file. So we need to have our client ID and client secret ID. So let's go to the paper developer. Login. Okay, so you go to my apps. As you can see here, I already have created an application called eStore. In your case, you just hit this blue button here and create your application. Then click the application name. So as you can see here, we have the client ID of the application. Let's copy that and paste it here. The same thing for the secret ID. Okay, let's uncomment those keys now. Let's use the default connection timeout. Also, let's uncomment the endpoint. In our case, we're going to use the sandbox. When you are going to be live, you should use the live endpoint, which is here. As you can see, this URI. Also, I'm going to enable the log for the reasons of any issues, so I can take a look to my log file and get more information about the issue if there is any. So that's it within the configuration file, I think. So let's close this file, and now let's create an endpoint for our payment controller. Let's use the resource, actually call it payment, and let's give it name payment actually controller. Okay, payment controller. Let's create this controller now. App http controllers, and let's call it payment controllers.php. Okay, namespace space app http controllers. Class, we can paper payment controller, extend the controller. Let's remove this. Okay, let's initialize our API context directly within the constructor. So let's go back to the code sample in our guide. Here, let's copy this. Plus. Okay, so let's create the property. Let's make it private. API context. Now let's get this configuration data directly from our config file. So it's under PayPal payment, I guess, account, and client ID, I guess. So the same thing for the client secret ID. So config and PayPal payment account and the client secret. I think it's client. Let's make sure it's client secret. Yes, client secret. So now we have our API context initialized. Just one more thing. Let's use this alias here for our person. Now let's use this store with our code sample. This will simulate the credit card processing when we process our payment. So let's add this function here. It's store. So within this store function, we have this create the address and all the credit card, all the information that you need to process a payment within a PayPal. So I think that's all now. So we only need to hit this function. So since we're using the resource, I'm going to, since I don't have any form that where I include the data and information like that, so I'm going to use the Postman to send the post request to this endpoint. So let's do that right now. Second Postman. Okay, but let's run our server, right? Let's make sure everything is saved. I think yes. Let's close now everything. Yes, save. Okay, so let's clear this. Okay, so we're going to hit this endpoint payment by using the post request. So that means we will hit the payment controller function, the store function. So let's do that now. Okay, I have an error here. Okay, but before I do that, let me do something here. Just let's rename this environment to just env. So this way we can see the error since the debug mode is set to true there. Something unexpected end of file. I think there is something goes wrong within the route file. Yes, to add the semicolon. Okay, let's go back. Let's send a request. Call undefined function. I think it's resource, not records. Sorry. Okay, so now we have, yes, I have to generate new key actually. PHP artisan k generate k generate. I'm doing k generate. Okay, let's do now. Let's run the server again. Let's send a request. Yes. Okay, this is Laravel here trying to protect us from cross-site request filtering. So since this is just for demo purposes, let's just disable this middleware, which we will find it under HTTP kernel. Just make sure you should never do that. This is just for testing purposes, since I'm not sending any token within the post request. So that's why I'm disabling this middleware here. So let's try again now. I think we will get a response now from the paper server. Okay, as you can see here, we have this object that contain all the data about our transactions. So as you can see here, we have the payer information about the payer, and also transaction about the information, sorry, about transaction, like the amount, total, currency details, and also something very important here is this transaction ID. So you can use this transaction ID to get more details about the transaction directly from the PayPal API. So it's very useful. So you have many information that you can use in your site within your application. So I think that's it now. If you need any more information, or if you have any questions, let me know. So, or just leave a comment below the video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good time.